Hey, it looks like the Pittsburgh Steelers just finished off their roster. The Steelers, they've signed safety Ayo Olilola. I'm only going to try to say that name once. Let's go with Ayo. He just got signed to their practice squad. KPRC's Houston, Aaron Wilson reported this. He worked out with the Steelers last Thursday, and now he's going to join the team, and it's really nice to have him. And we're talking about these little signings. This is Sports Talk Steelers. I'm your host, Sean. Hey, I'm part of the Sports Talk family. We love covering the NFL. I have a successful Bears channel, and I want to give the Pittsburgh Steelers some love and be an impartial news source for you guys. So come here for some of your Steelers news. Hit the subscribe button. This allows me to continue doing this. So the thing about Ayo, he's going to act as the team's international exemption on the practice squad, and that's a really sneaky move. That brings the practice squad to its full 17 players instead of the standard 16. In that spot, it would have likely gone to Julius before he suffered this knee injury, and that caused the Steelers to place him on injured reserve, and then he got released with an injury settlement. Ayo, he's from London. He's from the United Kingdom. And I'm going to go to this story here on SteelersWire.com. Just really cool source here. So you guys check that out in its entirety. So he was introduced to football while studying law at the University of Nottingham. Guess what, though? He saw Saquon Barkley's highlights. That's when Ayo fell in love with football and he decided to pursue it. Must be an athletic guy because he pretty quickly tried out for multiple NFL teams to kick off his career. He wasn't signed immediately. So for his first season of professional football, he spent it in Canada in the CFL with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. I'm going to talk about that a little more. But him coming from the UK, that makes him a member of the International Player Pathway Program. And he was assigned to the Jacksonville Jaguars during the 22 and 23 season. That means the team was awarded an exemption back then that allowed them to keep him via an extra roster spot on the practice squad once he cleared waivers at final roster cuts. And I'm not going to overblow this signing, that it's like this earth-shattering signing. But I just want to cover all these finishing touches on the roster as a news source that the national media isn't necessarily covering because every little advantage is important. Having an extra practice squad slot, that's an advantage. And GM Omar Khan is showing that he's worth his salt. He's hitting these little details really well as a GM. And that's how you know you have a good GM. So the Steelers, they're going to apply for that same exemption after signing Ayo. It's kind of unclear, though, for sure if that'll be enforced because he was not assigned to them. He instead chose to sign with the team. But I think, pardon me, I think they're still going to get it. Sorry about that change of season. So they had their practice squad filled with 16 players. They add Ayo, whether they get the exemption or not. If they don't get the exemption, they'll have to drop someone. So kind of a rule change. Up until this season, using that exemption, it meant that an organization could not elevate an IPP player to an active roster on game day. Thus, as a result, he never appeared in a regular season contest throughout his tenure in Jacksonville. But starting this year, however, teams, they can promote one of those players up to 3 times a season before they're required to sign them to their active rosters. So, I mean, that's definitely an advantage. It's taking advantage of the rule change this year. And a little more on him. He won the Grey Cup with the Blue Bombers. He was signed by the Jacksonville Jaguars. Once again, he spent 2 seasons with the team in the International Pathway Program, played in 2 preseasons in 22 and 23, and he played both on defense and special teams. The guy has some versatility. He's 5'11", 213 pounds, played a combined 43 snaps on defense, 20 on special teams with the Jags. And that's a really good quality as well. He's able to be an asset on special teams. He got waived by the Jaguars in April, remained a free agent. Now he's a Steeler. So just a nice depth piece, more of a break glass in case of fire had, because Ayo's the only safety the Steelers have in the practice squad. They decided to roster 5. And that's with Jalen Elliott as a surprise inclusion. Rookie Ryan Watts, this is why the Steelers can't have nice things, I guess, if you listen to things that my mom used to say. He was placed on season-ending injured reserve, suffered that injury in their final preseason game against the Detroit Lions. Super unfortunate, a tough blow, and this ad is likely a reaction to that. So, in short, look, solid player, low cost, essentially a free roster spot. Every little advantage helps. That's how a team elevates as they develop to an elite team. And I believe GM Omar Khan, excuse me, he's really putting the extra work in and taking advantage of these little edges. That's this war of 1,000 cuts, right? This little edge. This is what brings a team to the top. And the Steelers are exercising every opportunity. You guys, like and subscribe, please. This allows me to get this channel off the ground and to continue providing impartial news for you guys as Pittsburgh Steelers fans. And as a Bears guy, who knows Justin Fields better than I do? And I think you're kind of making a good move to win now in the moment by elevating Russell Wilson to the starting lineup. I think he's going to be a steady hand, not spectacular. You're going to be missing these big holy cow plays that Justin Fields provides, but luckily you're not going to have to ride the roller coaster and experience those low lows. One of the coolest things I'm going to look for with you in this regular season, I can't wait to see how they're going to utilize Fields in specific packages. I think he's still going to be an asset to the team, and who knows if they can continue to improve his footwork, if they can continue to work on his progressions, you might have a huge talent on your hands and he can be a long-term solution. But yeah, regardless of what people have to say, what I've said about Russell Wilson, I'm not a huge fan. I think you're making the right decision, putting him as your starter week 1. And we'll see how the season progresses. You guys, let me know what you think. Let me know who you want to see profiled as we approach this season or what subjects you want covered. I'm here for you guys. Have a good off season. Can't wait till the regular season. See ya.